Hello. Hello, good morning. Let's have a seat, please. Let's get started. If you want the agenda, here is the QR code to get the agenda. It actually takes you to our website. And you can click on agendas and it will take you right to today's agenda. Also, by the way, when you're on the website, go to the very last page, which is links. Hello. Are you ready to go? Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thank you. Here's the agenda if you want it. It's a QR code to our website. As soon as you get to our website, hit agendas and today's agenda is right there. While you're on the website, maybe not today, but go to the very the links on our website, and on our links has every single candidate that affects you in the next 2 elections. They have their link to their website on there. So it's an easy way for you to find all the politicians that will be voting on in August and in November. So go to that. We're going to start out with a little icebreaker after I introduce us. My name is Carl Laubach. I am the chair of the Royal Oak Area Dem Club. Right back there next to the camera is Mike James. He's our vice chair. Sitting next to him is our secretary, Lisa Mason. And our treasurer, Deb, is not here today. But for our breakout question, I would like you guys to get into little groups of 5 and introduce yourselves to your neighbors, talk amongst yourselves. Here's a little question that you guys can go over together. Is there a political cause, political movement, or a cause that inspires you, and why does it inspire you? So you got like 3 or 4 minutes, and obviously not democracy and stuff. We all want that.
Maybe I'll go on one now.
I think it might be right. I talked to a man that was
The question was.
That I was swearing about this morning. But the roots
Okay. Okay, let's bring it back up here. All right. All right, let's bring it back up here. Does anybody have anything, a cause or a movement that they heard about that they've never thought about before? Hello? Anybody hear about a cause or a movement that they have not heard about before? Did you at least meet your neighbors? All right, we're good with that then. I've been delaying because I don't see our main speaker, but we're going to get right into it. So we will start talking about, we have, as you guys know, we don't have a July monthly meeting, and we will not see each other until after, unless you come to the both social nights. We won't see each other till our August meeting, which is after the primary. So really, this is the last time I have to get all the information about the millages in front of you guys. Is this not working again? Testing. Yeah, we need AA batteries. You know what? I know they have some at the desk. Yeah, she's got some.
Carl, what day is the social night again?
Social night is the third Thursday of every month. Third Thursday of every month. It is the 18th this month. 18th to this month. It'll be at Pronto on the back patio. So we are going to start with. So in the August primary, there are actually four. There's 3 millages and a bond. You guys are going to vote on. So one of the millages is for no, it's the bond is for the Royal Oak Enhancement Millage. No, it's a millage.
Did they get moved to November?
I'm sorry, they did.
That's the bond.
That's. All right. Well, you want to come up and speak about that? Come on up. This meeting is going swimmingly. Everything's working out. Thank you.
I have a
Give it a second. It's just slow.
Is this a good time?
Yeah, we're not doing anything else. Look at that.
We got it?
We got it.
You want me to use that?
Let me give you some batteries.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Tafelski. I'm the proud superintendent. Thank you. I appreciate that. I paid the kids to be here. I'm the proud superintendent of Royal Oak Schools. I'm just wrapping up my first year. Thank you. It's been a wonderful first year, full of challenges and excitement and momentum and all of these great things. We actually have our largest incoming kindergarten class in many, many years entering in the fall of 2026. We don't quite know where we're going to put them all, but like that's August's problem. It's not today's problem. So today I'm here to talk about the 2026 bond. It is a November 3rd school ballot proposal. It is a 0 millage rate increase. I can't say it won't increase your taxes because, as all of you well-informed voters know, there are many other factors that go into your taxes. But what I can say is it is a 0 millage rate increase for $165 million. We had a lot of planning that went into this. It has been something that has been planned for a few years now, and we really kind of hit the ground running in September of 2025. I think what I'm most proud of is all of the hours of community engagement. We had a bond steering committee. We had community engagement sessions. We talked to school. We talked to folks in schools, administrators, students, everybody. We got the community together. Started with kind of one thing in the bond and ended up with which I thought was a wonderful plan, and then ended with a really wonderful plan that had a ton of buy-in. And for those of you that may have been involved in the process or heard about it, like, by the end of it, we were using Legos to build what the actual bond would look like in groups of 5 or 6. So it was a really great process. Again, the most important thing is that it's 0 increase. We're looking at enhancing student environments, modernizing the infrastructure and accessibility for our schools, improve security and visitor experience. As a newbie, I had a hard time finding the front of a few buildings, and so we're going to correct that. As everybody knows, the front of Keller is in the back, which is great and a challenging thing. The high school has 3 front entrances, which is great, and I love all 3 of them. And so we're just going to make sure that we kind of emphasize one, so that when we say meet at the front, we all go to the front. So, and then revitalizing our athletic and performance space. Some of you may know that we made some stadium improvements a couple of years ago, and I think that those stadium improvements are wonderful, but then some of our other spaces, our baseball and softball field, and then some of our indoor spaces need a little bit of help. If you've ever been to anything in the gym, it is very hot in there. So this summer we're using our sinking fund and we're getting air conditioning in the gym, but then we're going to take it a step further. All 3 gyms, middle school, auxiliary, and high school gym, just in time for Cameron and Lydia to leave. Sorry, guys. But there are things like that we need to kind of move a little bit forward on and kind of catch up to some of the other people. I believe firmly that Royal Oak is an outstanding community, an outstanding city, and we have a wonderful school system. And when people are looking here, they can also look at Birmingham, Bloomfield, Troy, Berkeley. And so we need to make sure that our academics, our community, our facilities, all of those things are continuing to compete with them. And I think we're doing a wonderful job, but if we wait too long, we don't want to fall too far behind. And so those are kind of the things that we're doing. One of our most proud achievements recently is the expansion of our early childhood center. We have room for about 120 students in our GSRP program, which is the free pre-K for all. We are expanding the Royal Oak Education Center, which is the former Churchill Junior High School, which is housed the Churchill Community School and our Trails program. We are expanding that to keep Trails, to keep Churchill High School, Churchill Community High School, and we're going to add access for about 200 additional families by the time it is done for free pre-K for all. We are losing a lot of people to neighboring communities who are offering free pre-K for all. And whether they go public next door to us or private next door to us, they stay there. If they go public, they have their friends. If they go private, for those of you who have paid for daycare recently, you're like, well, I might as well just keep paying. I've been paying 10 grand a year. What's the difference? And so I can keep my kids with my friends. So we want to keep those kids in Royal Oak. And that's important to me. I think the earlier the intervention, the better off that we are. Our buildings are awesome, but they are old. I see that as a feature, not as a bug. The construction companies see that also as a feature when they bill us for these things. And so it is expensive to maintain them, but I think that Royal Oak Dondero, there you go. I think that's the most beautiful facility probably in Oakland County. It's 100 years old in 2027, and we are looking forward to celebrating that, but we got to keep that up. And the ADA wasn't around in 1927. IDEA wasn't around in 1927. The students that we give access to the general education curriculum right now did not have that access in 1927. And it is wonderful, but we need upgrades there. And so that stuff is expensive. This is looking at the Lexington entrance of Royal Oak High School right now. So we're going to pull it out about 7,000 square feet. Currently, if you go into the high school, you have to go down the hallway a few hundred feet to even get to a main office. You like walk in through this little athletic center. And so we're going to bring the front office there with conference rooms, the ability for counselors and social workers to meet with parents there, parents to meet with administrators right there. These are some new athletic spaces. The pool at Royal Oak High School is, for lack of a better term, in really bad shape. The foundation, the guts, the air handling, the ceiling, like the whole thing. And so we are removing the pool, but we're replacing it with something else. Okay, so think of Lifetime Fitness or Planet Fitness if you've ever gone, and they have the smaller pools for some of the starts and stops, the parent taught classes, the YMCA thing that we're thinking. We just don't need 2 Olympic-sized pools in Royal Oak for our high school and our middle school teams. We compete already at Dondero, and we have Go Oaks. There we go again. They're annoying, but they're awesome. So we have been doing competitions and everything, and we host all kinds of events for the county and for the region and everything at Dondero. So we will continue to do that, but this will give our students a little bit more access to training and specific training with some of the things that we're doing. We're actually taking a trip out to the University of Michigan to look at their aquatic center to try and mirror some of the things that they're doing. So, but there will be space to swim at the high school still. I need to make that very clear. I've been a part of a couple other bonds. When you say we're closing a pool, like the pitchfork and torch stores in those communities sell out immediately. And so we're not going to do that. Baseball, softball field is going to get a grandstand behind, and then all turf fields, which is amazing for community use. If you think about a baseball field, that will fit basically 2 full-size football fields. The turf is just a different color. So that's going to be great for ROFC, for the Titans Now Raiders, for some of our community programs, for the Sandlot League, for all of those groups that need space. They will have more space. And so we're very excited about that. So we have a lot of specific building plans. I don't want to go through each one of them. Carl's going to broom me off in a second here. And so these are all online. You can see what we're doing. This is the Royal Oak Education Center. These are our additions. So this is Gerard. These are the additions of the 8 to 10 new classrooms coming out here. A full service kitchen so that our Churchill students can have hot lunches and nutritious lunches during the day. Our trail students, which is our adult ASD program, students with autism primarily are in that program, and they get community use. We're building a full service apartment in there so that we can give them practice on laundry and making beds and doing all of those things. It's really going to be a great opportunity. That's a rendering. Looks a little bit like the Polar Express, but I'm just happy that they have legs and arms in this one. So we're good there. Adams, who lives in the Adams neighborhood? Okay, you guys will be super excited. We are rerouting things, and we're going to have an expanded parking lot that we think will fix traffic in the back. And then this is the existing playground and fields. This, it's a street that goes from Clawson to, I always forget. What's this one? Linwood. So it goes from Clawson to Linwood. In order for our students to get from the school to the parking lot, they have to cross this, we'll call it a throughway. And it's obviously not safe. And so we're cutting that off. We're going to give our students green space to cross. Add expanded parking, bring out our vestibule area so that poor Mr. Boyer doesn't have to go nose to nose with angry Deb Anderson when she comes in shaking her fist. I love you, Deb. Keller and Northwood are getting a little bit of an upgrade to the front of the building. Keller's getting an upgrade to the back of the building, which is the front of the building on Campbell, but you guys know what I'm saying. A big piece of this, and this is shown in all of them, our community came through, and the #1 word on our little word cloud was inclusion. And that's really important to me. It's really important to the community. It's important to our school board. And so a lot of the additions and the things that you will see are either there to support inclusion and student intervention, whether they're general education students or special education students, to ensure that they have access to the curriculum and the education that they need. And so whether that is the addition or the addition is moving something, and then the renovation will be leading to our inclusion space. Roms is getting a very big facelift too. Royal Oak Dondero, as it's called. For those of you who were there, how many in here went to Dondero, aside from my 2 union brethren in the back? Dondero, when you walk in off of Washington, you walk into a hallway, and then there is the gathering place, and that's what the gathering place looks like. That used to be a pool. I think we covered it when Kerry Derminer was in high school, and I don't think we've cleaned or changed the carpet since then. So we're going to do all of this. This is a rendering of that same space, the gathering place. to make it a more welcoming environment for all of our students to be, whether they're at lunch and they want to bring some food down, or they're heading to the Learning Commons. And so that's going to kind of drive a lot of the changes that are happening at Royal Oak Middle School, which we're very excited about. It's another view of it. And then this is just kind of an architectural design of the high school. The big thing that I think people will be interested in is the revised site plan. So this Normandy Drive is going to be moved a little bit. Baseball and softball fields are going to be hitting out in opposite directions, and that will create like a nice little plaza here for our parents with grandstands behind. It's right next to the school if we need restrooms or anything like that. Our kids are no longer trying to hit a pitch that is coming from the sun, which is difficult to say the least. And then here we're going to have improved traffic flow so you can kind of get in any entrance and get out any entrance, which is big. Yes, sir.
Student drop off this morning.
Student drop off in the
time I came off of Crooks Road and then made the.
And then you got to go back out onto Crooks Road. Now you can go anywhere. And so anywhere you want. We'd ask you not to drive on the grass, but if you do, you know what, David, I'm cool with it. Just you can let them know it was me that said it was. Yeah, so it was difficult because if you need to turn left on Crooks, everybody knows what happens, even though there's a light there. It's a nightmare. And so if you want to go out to Normandy, you can go out to Normandy. You got to kind of weave around to go to Lexington, but like we are making sure that you can get in and through and around as opposed to running into the curb. It's frustrating for parents, and I hear that. It's frustrating for me when I forget that we can't do it. And I come in off of Normandy and then there's no parking, and then I can't just go to this one right here. I have to go back out on Normandy, turn left onto Crooks, then come in.
Well, that's sort of thing. I really appreciate the anywhere thing, but is there a plan of like, hey, everybody, we'd like you to flow this way?
So yes, I think that we would truly like drop off to kind of follow the same thing for our general population. We love talking about tiers, right? 80% of our students should be good with what we do every single day, and then 20% need intervention. So I'm going to look at that for parent drop off. 80% of our parents should be able to drop off and turn around and go. I am a parent who drops my children off some days. I know that like the pyramid is flipped. Like 2% of parents know exactly what to do. We tell them not to get out of the cars, they get out of the cars.
Last thing, I spoke with Mary about it before. Anyway, but smart bus.
Smart
Is
bus.
it coming twice in the morning? Is it going twice in the afternoon? I realize they cut that route a lot.
Yeah.
It's the only bus that feeds our high school.
It sure is. And it's difficult because I've talked to students and I've talked to parents about the smart bus. And the hard part is we don't control the smart bus. And so it comes in the morning and it comes in the afternoon. But like the afternoon, sometimes kids are running to get out to get there. And sometimes they are waiting there for a long time.
2 years ago, I spoke with Smart over at Churchill. We got a second bus in the morning for late start. We got a second bus in the afternoon for both kids who had needed to stay after school.
Yeah,
whether
longer.
Speak or talk.
Yes.
Do. Because there is no after school program for the kid who has to catch the bus.
Correct.
Because there is no bus.
Correct.
So I would appreciate anything you can do to just talk with them, make
Yes.
sure, and sort of emphasize to them that that is the only route that services our school. And I get it. They have drivers who don't show up.
Yeah.
Cancel routes. My
Yeah.
daughters used to help me sitting down at the Royal Oak Transit Center. Dad, no bus showed up.
Yeah.
You know, and I'd have to leave work, drive
Yes.
there, go and do.
Yes, and we are, as you hear from the Enhancement Millage, looking at how we can expand some transportation offerings to some of our
Gotcha.
community members, and that's as specific as I'm going to say.
And I did look at the smart little, the call for a ride, dial a ride kind of thing.
Yeah.
But they would only go to the transit center. They
Yes.
wouldn't come to my house 4 blocks away.
And they have expanded their free rides. We did hear about that from Ashley Phillips, our diversity, equity, and inclusion coordinator, at our last meeting. And so they are expanding free rides for our students.
So I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Just wanted to-
I appreciate that, Bill. So one of the things that we have at Royal Oak High School, like things are in different spaces. And so we're going to try to connect everything. So right now, just as a very small example, Mr. Conrad, who runs our TV video production and is the producer of the award-winning podcast, Royal Oak's Shaking the Tree. We just found out yesterday that we won the National School Public Relations Association. What was it? It wasn't the honorable mention. That's reserved for like Berkeley and Troy. We won the top one. Right? Yeah. You can tell Scott Francis and Rich Macheski I'm coming for him. Just kidding. Love those. But anyway, so Mr. Conrad, who teaches a career and technical education class, is down here. The rest of our CTE is like up here, and our computer labs are over here. And so this doesn't really make any sense. So we're like going to move Mr. Conrad up here. We're going to move the main office here, and this we have some special education courses here, but then like others everywhere else. And so we're going to try and move most of our stuff here so that services are easier for students to access, more in the middle of the building, and try to bring a little bit more cohesion to what our building looks like. So this is the front entrance. Currently, this is what we're looking at doing to it. Crooks, sorry, that was a Crooks entrance. They lied, architects. This is continuing to be the Lexington entrance. And then this is my favorite view of what a rendering will look like from like kind of a bird's eye view from Lexington. So this is the Crooks entrance, and then that's what the revitalized Crooks entrance will look like as we see it, which I think is very important to me because most of us, as a non-Royal Oak resident, the entrance that I passed by whenever I passed by Royal Oak High School was the Crooks entrance. And that's lovely. I like that. So we have more renderings. Again, 0 increase, 2.2 now. I'm going to say a 2.2. 0 increase to the millage rate, $165 million. We are extremely low. Our board has done a wonderful job of being good financial stewards. We don't have to lay off anybody this year. Our neighboring communities, including the district that I live in, is laying off teachers. We don't have to look at 20% budget cuts like some of our neighboring districts are doing. And we have an extremely low millage rate. I was talking to a resident who's like, no, I think our taxes are kind of high. And I was like, let me tell you what my taxes are, my friend. It's like, whoa, okay. So we have a very nice millage rate, and we want to keep it that way. And we appreciate all of the support that the voters in the community have given us over the years. But yeah, so we're looking at the November 3rd election, September 24th, absentee ballots are available. October 19th is the last day to vote by mail. I'm like telling you guys these dates like you don't have them on your calendar in a red Sharpie. So I'm just going to keep going. This is my contact information. Again, some people like our website. How many people visit our website? It's terrible. It's hot garbage. It's going to be better though. I promise you. Like by the time the kindergartners are coming into ECC, like grow up, it's going to be great when they're in senior class. So I'm happy to answer any questions that anybody might have. Yes. Two questions. I love it, Carl. You can email me at that email address, and I promise I will respond even if you scream at me. Yes, ma'am.
All these visuals are great. Are they online?
They are all online. We have a special dedicated section on our website that is 2026 Bond. There is a mailer that went out that all Royal Oak, would you mind holding it up? Like it's a trifold. It's beautiful. Apparently they're hard to, oh yeah, there we go. So like it is a wonderful mailer that went out to all residents. So we have a special dedicated section for our bond, and we have a special dedicated section for the enhancement millage, which are both critically important. I don't have to explain to all of the well-informed people in here that like, we don't have a lot of ways that we can fund schools. Every time the school aid fund's doing well, they're like, let's transfer $1.5 billion out to something else. Like we want to give that to our kids, but in the meantime, we're going to make sure that we're asking for a little bit of support, a little bit of help to support some of our enhancements. Another question, Shane?
Do you have NIL?
Do we have name, image, and likeness?
Yes.
We do not for our athletes currently. It is very tightly restricted. If anybody has like athletes who would be eligible for name, image, and likeness, like move them into your house, please, and send them over to Royal Oak High School. That would be wonderful. I'm just teasing. So name, image, and likeness is something that high school athletes can pursue to get sponsorship from outside organizations. This is not something that your typical high school athlete will get. This is for like the most elite athletes in the state. I think there are 1 or 2 athletes right now that are actually getting NIL in high school. One is a 5-star. 5-star is the highest ranking that you can get. A defensive end who's going like, he's choosing between like Michigan, USC, Alabama, Notre Dame, all of those. And then the other one I think is either a golfer or a swimmer. And so like it is the elite of the elite of the elite. It's not something where high schools are going to be paying kids to play. In fact, we ask our kids for a activity fee to reverse NIL. All right. Please feel free to email me. Thank you so much. I appreciate all the work that you all do. Email me, call me, get a hold of me any way you can. Michelle, Deb, Matt, all of our friends at the school board can get you, yeah, right over there. Can get you in contact with me too. Kerry, Josh, you guys need this?
And we'll have him out before November. Maybe again.
Oh, I'll come on anytime. Talk to you guys anytime. I
And
love
maybe
you.
we'll have you out to make sure your daughter gets picked up properly.
Yeah, my daughter's playing golf at the Royal Oak Golf Center right now, and so she's like, "Dad, what time you come? Dad, what time you come?" I'm like, "Just hit golf balls until I come back. You'll be fine." So, thank you, everyone.
All right, next up, to talk about the Oakland County Enhancement Millage, we have Kerry Derminer and Joshua Kremer. Come on up, guys. This will be voted on in August.
Good morning, everybody. I'll just introduce myself. I'm Kerry Derminer. I am the proud president of the Royal Oak Education Association. So our group has, we have teachers and we also have ancillary staff, social workers, occupational therapists, physical therapists, speech and language, and social work. I said social workers. And I have taught in Royal Oak for 30 years. I grew up in Royal Oak. I graduated from I left Northwood, went to Adams Junior High, and graduated from Dondero. Go Oaks. Thank you. If you watch school board meetings, you'll hear me. I'm in the audience. Every time they say Dondero, I say Go Oaks. So I'm going to introduce Josh. He's going to get us started with our presentation. And thank you very much. We also, if you didn't grab it, we have an informational handout. Oh, look at right here. I'm going to borrow yours for showing. I'm a teacher, you know, so I got to have visuals. So we have on the back, we have an infographic, which essentially is everything that's on the back here, but just to look at it when you're talking to your friends and family about how important this is. Here are some talking points for them and just a place to kind of send them to. So thank you. Thanks for your visual.
I'm going to try to do this without a microphone because when I have it, I'm just too loud. So again, my name is Josh Kremer. I'm actually here representing West Bloomfield Education Association, but I am also a product of the Royal Oak Schools, Oakland Elementary, Keller Junior High, Dondero.
Go Oaks.
There you go. Class of 94. I actually graduated with Kerry's brother in 1994, all these many years ago.
Oh, I was going to tell them I graduated in like 2006 and see if they believe it. But that's fine.
Well, I got told I was 40 yesterday, so I'm very happy.
Right,
I
good
woke
for
up
you.
very good this morning. But we are here kind of as a coalition. We're representing the Oakland County unions representing Yes for Oakland Kids. This is what we're doing as a countywide organized plan to get this very, very, very vital enhancement millage passed across all of Oakland County. Now, I have the hard part because he went up here and said, hey, we're not going to ask you for any additional money. And now we are asking you for additional money. So thank you very much for that. We appreciate it. And so what I'm going to present to you guys is the what and the why. Okay. So the Oakland County Enhancement Millage is a county-wide millage. It required the school boards that represented more than 50% of Oakland County schools to vote to get it on the ballot for August. And 26 out of 28 communities in Oakland County supported this through their school boards. Okay, so it's a lot of local support for it, we hope. But it is countywide. And so the money will be pulled from the property taxes of the entire county and it will be distributed across to students of the entire county, every school district, including eligible public school academies. The current proposed per pupil increase in the coming budget is $250 per student. And that is about 2 to 2.5% of the current spending. So well below inflation increase. This millage would provide in the first year more than $700 per pupil across every school district equally. So zip code doesn't matter. Every student across Oakland County gets this. And this is monumental in helping us to move forward. And like he's saying, make sure that we have sustainable budgets, make sure that we can keep programming good teachers. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me come back to that in a minute. The bonds have very specified ways that they can be used. bricks, mortar, tech, things like that. They're very, very controlled in how they can be used. The benefit of this millage is that local control can be used in a multitude of facets as school districts see fit, meaning what do we need most for our students, for our staff, for our facilities. We can make choices on that at the local level. And obviously that's going to go through budgets and school board approvals and things like that. So it's not the Wild West of spending that the opposition to this millage is proposing. And with that, the idea of an enhancement millage on the county level is not a novel idea in Michigan. There are currently 44% of all students in Michigan districts are already under an enhancement millage. And you can see here, I believe Wayne County is actually in their second.
Yep, they're in the second round.
So all of these counties have enhancement millages already. It becomes this unfortunate component of the aftermath of Proposal A that, you know, we have to come back to doing local, essentially fundraising to help support our schools and our kids. But this is not a brand new thing. That said, as I mentioned a minute ago, it is a new tax on property. 1.5, which is, by the way, I think 1.8 or 9, Macomb and Oakland, our neighbors. So below where they're at with that. And so my man Frank said, let me be frank with you for a moment, and let's talk some numbers, some actual specific numbers.
He's very tied to that picture, and I love that for him.
In this edit, I took it out. She texted me like at an absurdly late time last night and goes, no, Frank needs to be there. Like, I'm glad you said that.
I brought it
back. Just to be absolutely transparent, we are way behind where we should be on per pupil spending. And those who, again, in Lansing are celebrating, hey, we have record spending per pupil. But let's be logical. If you bet $5, you're at a new record. But is it keeping up with where we need to be? And it's not even close. It's not even close. When we do the math, right? They're going to say it's a record high. When we do the math at 10,500, that spending power relative to inflation actually has us pre-2009, right? And if we were to extrapolate that out, that would require $13,000 per pupil. This enhancement millage, when it passes, I'm the eternal optimist, when it passes, because you're going to help us do that, raises with the proposed only even $1,000. It only fills like 30% of the gap that still exists. So it's a start, but much needed funds. So like we said, the bond sinking funds, those very strict limits. This is a locally controlled, what do we most need for our students, staff, our resources. So some of the things that this will absolutely go to include staff retention and raising. We are in a teacher crisis in Michigan. It is, because of the financial realities of it, it is tough to recruit the brightest and best professionals into this challenging career. I say it's a tough job to love, right? And then I just finished year 27 yesterday. And
Year 30.
there you go. So you have dedicated educators here for sure, okay, who are well behind our friends and family after 30 years of hard professional work. But we think that Royal Oak has great teachers. I know that West Bloomfield has great teachers, and we want to keep those teachers. We want to recruit the best teachers that are, because those ones who are actually pursuing education have passion and drive because they're getting into it knowing the realities. And we want to be able to recruit the best and stop losing them to Wayne and Macomb because they can afford to pay their teachers $5,000 to $10,000 more a year because they've had numerous villages.
Yeah, and I'm going to just interject there. You know, our fair new superintendent came from Allen Park, which is in Wayne County, which has had the enhancement millage. And he can tell you that his top of scale in Allen Park, our top of scale for our masters is currently in our last contract, $91,000. In Allen Park, it was
$109,000.
Wow.
Allen Park is a wonderful community. I love it. It is totally remarkable, filled with remarkable people, but from a taxation and housing aspect, like any town in the USA. There's not like some big tax base that's there. But with the enhancement millage, with the extra $2 million a year that we got in Allen Park, which is a much smaller district, we could prioritize staff contracts through the collective bargaining agreement, through negotiations, and say, we want to keep our teachers here, and so we're going to reward them. And so we always had that safety net of, okay, if for some reason something happens, we know we have this enhancement millage to support our staff members through this. We're very lucky in Royal Oak. We did not lose teachers this year. Like, nobody is leaving Royal Oak. But as a former person in Wayne County, we would look to Oakland County, Monroe County, and some of those other districts to grab them.
Yeah.
Like, I giggled that like Oakland County was my farm league.
No offense.
But like,
Let me say this, we had a teacher resign halfway through the year to go to work at Sherwin-Williams mixing paint because there was more money in it. Okay. A young, a vital, a teacher that was connecting with kids in math, right? In math, yeah, because it paid more to Sherwin-Williams. And when we speak to the top of the scale, you know, those numbers can sound like, well, that's good living. But I started in West Bloomfield with an 11-year pay scale. I reached the top at year 18. Step freeze, step freeze, step freeze. There was a year I was required to pay the district back $4,000 at the end of the year because they overpaid me. Yeah, that's after a 10% pay cut. That was 2008, 9. Those were tough times. Those were tough times. It will destroy teaching if we ever can have to do that. It will destroy it. And you're here because you know that this is just vital. This is an investment in our communities. This is an investment in our democracy. Right? I'm a social studies teacher, so I'm gonna.
You're done.
I'm done again.
You're done. Thank you.
While we focus at the top of the scale, which can be a decent living wage, what I'm focusing on is where do we start? How's a teacher who's 5 years in and trying to get a master's degree or buy a house or start a family? They should be able to financially do that. While also, what I see is performing a civic service to our communities and to our country. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
An educated public, this defies tyranny and fascism. I don't know what I just.
We can go on.
Budgets, again, budgets. Lansing keeps us guessing. Proposal A says we have to guess. And, you know, how do you plan like that? How do you plan next year? How do you plan 5 years, 10 years, right? How do you build the financial health of your district long term when you have to guess each year? Now, again, post-COVID, we are seeing relatively decent increases, but again, $450 last year, $250 this year, there's zero consistency to plan with. This millage would provide us a much more reliable base to work with. And while it starts at $700, as obviously property values increase over the term of the 6-year millage, we should actually see that increase each year. And I did the math in my district, and I wanted to present with Kerry because we have very similar numbers. The first year, I think the total is estimated somewhere between 3.2 and 3.6 million additional dollars coming in a year where the budget's already been established, right? This will come in December. So that's a huge influx of money. And I know that in my district, we have a trigger language in our contract that says when it passes, the district has to sit with us within 30 days to begin renegotiating wages specifically. We plan that ahead with the pre-site that this would pass. And many other districts have that or are building that in right now, or are going to be taking this into negotiations in the spring for the next contract in a much healthier position to do both of these simultaneously, right? Staff to student ratios, of course. We can tell you there's a huge difference between 32 kids in the classroom and 28 across a day. That's dozens of more contacts, and the time and things like that. Huge. Plus management of 28 versus 30 or 32. 4 kids can make a huge difference. Wellness supports, social emotional learning, more social workers, more counselors. We're hitting close to dangerous ratios. I think the state ratio is several hundred. I don't know the exact number of kids to one counselor. It's too much for the kids and the emotional needs we're seeing with our social media generation. Safety initiatives, of course, cameras, locks, just basics, infrastructural pieces like that. and absolutely programming. I know West Bloomfield has great programming. I did graduate from Dundero. Okay, great programming there. I feel like I got a really strong education. I was involved in a ton of extracurriculars, varsity sports, clubs, all these types of things. Not going to brag, but I did pretty well there. But how do we build new programs? How do we create initiatives? How do we bring more tech, right? How do we bring more STEM? Not just maintain it, build it, create opportunities for the jobs of the future. Give kids the opportunity to pursue passions within their educational day. We know that there are a lot of kids, the classroom isn't where they thrive in school. They go through the classroom day to be able to get to their sport at the end of the day, their club at the end of the day, to be able to play the music that they love or perform in the play. And this maintains the ability to keep doing those things as well, bringing in more tech, all of that type of stuff. So, I mean, here's kind of a big picture impact. Like we said, estimates are kind of shifting, but all estimates have us plus $700 per kid across the entire county. So if I'm saying 3.2 to 6 for West Bloomfield, it's going to be a similar number for Royal Oak, as far as I can tell. But you can see that it actually will increase. Here's the per pupil per year for each kid. And based on estimates and how those might shift demographically over the next, here's the totality of the money that we raised through this 1.5 millage over those 6 years. There's a lot of misinformation too, because a lot of people don't understand how to calculate what their actual money would be. We're going to have a place that they can go to do that. I'm constantly telling people it's not what Zillow says your house is worth. It's not that. Yeah. It's not even half of that. How long have you lived in your house? I was actually talking to a member whose father's like, I heard it's $500 per house no matter what. I'm like, that's not how villages work. That's not even close to how villages work. He's lived in this house since 1990. And it cost him $47 additional dollars. And I had the member text him, hey, Dad, if I needed $50, would you give it to me? Sure. Well, imagine what this would do for me, my family, your grandkids. This is potentially thousands more dollars in teacher pay, especially over the long term. So there's our basic money. When it passes, the money will be distributed, I believe, through the winter taxes and start coming in December. So that money can get into these programs in this 26-27 school year. Yeah, absolutely. It can be coming right away.
Is this what are you guys having a euchre tournament?
No,
What was that?
no, that was for the bond. That was for the bond, and it just got canceled because it's getting moved back.
But I like that idea. Talk to you about that
after. Told me. It's coming.
It's coming. So that's my portion. I'm going to turn it over to Kerry, and she's going to talk now that you know. Let's before we go to this. Any questions on the what and the why? I think the why spoke for itself.
If you know of all those counties that have it now, have they renewed it? If you know the
Wayne has renewed it. Macomb, I think, is in year 4.
Correct. Yes.
And I think they're a 6-year millage as well. So
no, I think they're a 10-year. I think they no. I think they went 10. One of them went 10. Oh no, Wayne County just did a 10. Yeah, 6. Yeah, they're in here for for that.
So they'll be renewing. And I think we know the hardest part is like incumbency, right? The hardest part is getting
with
the initial
what they
vote.
are.
If you know, did any of them renew?
Oh yeah, both of definitely Wayne just renewed. I'm sorry, I don't know if it's the 6th or
I think their initial was close,
yes.
and then when it renewed, overwhelmingly. They saw the long-term benefit.
Macomb, which we all know is really kind of a red county, they overwhelmingly voted it in. The first time. Yep, they did not have any problems with that. And just to talk, just why I'm telling you what you can do is because I am on the leadership team for Yes for Oakland Kids. We met with one of our organizers yesterday, and he said that it was the collective effort. Wayne and Oakland County has a 79%, and I was talking to somebody about this, a 79% passage rate of bonds and millages. So Oakland County always, even though very skewed politically, has always passed things for schools. Macomb and Wayne are closer to 50%. And both of those counties overwhelmingly passed these millages and saw instant raise. He was talking about Centerline, you know, in the middle of Van Dyke there, that whole area. Centerline, we have to report for our transparency reporting all employees that make over $100,000. The year before the millage, they had one educator that made over $100,000. They now have closer to 500 educators that are making over $100,000. Which is great. And that's how we keep, when we talk about, there's a lot of competition. And especially for new educators. If new educators can make that shift, I'm not going anywhere. You know, I've been here for 30 years. I'm not going to go anywhere. Josh is not going to go anywhere. But keeping the new talent in your community is how you make your school strong. You know, it's very important that we attract them in. And I know when we did our last contract, we put more money at the beginning than at the top, because we know we have to get them in. Our community is going to sell them on staying here. That's what's going to sell them, hopefully, but also they got to pay their bills. So that's very important.
And the extra money gets spent in the community. They go to Royal Oak and they go to dinner and they go and they go to the market and they do those things. So that money stays in the community when they can afford to live in there too. So we gotta,
thank you.
we gotta roll real quick.
All right, we're going. All right, so these are easy things that you can do. First is you want to educate yourself. You want to go ahead and be able to tell people, no, it's not going to be $500. Take a look what you can get it. The calculator is on guessforoaklandkids.com. Inform, like I said, I showed you what you have. There are talking points on the back of that handout. I'm going to send it to Carl. He'll have it available for you too. Talk to people about it. Asking them one question. Have you heard about the Oakland County Enhancement Millage?
While passing the potatoes out.
While passing the baked beans. They like baked beans. Whenever you're talking about baked beans at a picnic, ask them about the Enhancement Millage. So like that. My friends like the baked beans better than potato salad. I use baked beans in one, potato salad in the next one. But talk to them about that. That one question, they're like, oh, hey, yeah, I love voting for school things. Absolutely. Also, tell them, flip that ballot. Flip it. It's on the back. They got to flip. I'm guessing many of you probably just fill in Democratic straight ticket. Great. Flip it. Flip, read everything. Tell people to flip it. Flip it and fill it in. Yes. Donate. Right now, we are grossly behind the other counties that passed this. We, as a county, are late to this game of getting it on the ballot. Macomb had a year. We have 4 months. So we need donations. We are right now asking for $5. We are asking our members for $5. I'm asking you for $5. I will have a QR code at the end of this. You can click it. $5 will help us a ton. And that's to mobilize our members and our supporters to get out postcards, being at the polls, having things in the literature ready to make sure that people have the right information, and then obviously vote yes on this. When you vote yes, this is exactly what it is. It's yes for Oakland kids. That's what it comes down to. Having the best staff in your schools is going to educate the kids, and this is what drives our society. We teach every occupation. It starts right there, and so having the best people in there is good, and the push for absentee ballots. So John talked about that. That date's coming up at the end of June. Absentee ballots, people don't know if they're going to be on a vote. So if they have that vote in, that's perfect.
I was say, I mean, obviously this is a very civic-minded group, and probably like me, you get a little bit weirdly excited to go and actually vote in person and get your sticker and all that. But there's a saying that the heaviest weight in the gym is the front door. So the kind of idea that I'm pulling from that is to break down whatever impediment there might be to absentee voting for just this is the easiest way. I'm pushing everybody I can to get that vote, send it to your house, check yes, put it in the mail. 5 minutes of time in both registering for it and then signing it and getting it in the mailbox. And that could make a huge difference. 5 minutes could make a huge difference for the next 20 years of public education.
And here's a summary of everything that Josh talked about. It's 1 millage, 28 districts, 1.5 mill levy, 6-year and then the dates, how much and everything. We've talked about all that. Here are those QR codes. So these are our 3 big focuses as a group. They are on the back of that handout as well. Learning more, donating, and then an absentee ballot. Those are our 3 big focuses. Once we get past that absentee ballot, we're going to be hard getting the communication out to people. But again, we need the support monetarily right now in order to get that stuff done. And then there's links on there as well. Carl's going to have this presentation that he's going to share, so you guys will be able to access that as well. And then this is the infographic. So everything's summarized. So if you just want to show people, feel free to publish this, whatever. Our next step is our social media and putting that out. So you'll have stuff that you'll be able to share on your Facebook, Instagram, whatever other ones that you do. And then what questions do you have? I know people want us to wrap up. Yes.
If Whitmer passes that voucher piece, which is the rumor up in the Backhaus Center, will that affect this?
The voucher piece for what particularly? This goes to, I mean, this is.
That's only public school, right?
This is only public schools
Yeah.
and then public academies. So there's public academies that are in there too, but anything that is a part of that 28 districts. That's that's also a demographic difference between us and Macomb and Wayne and Macomb County. Macomb has 2 driving districts, Utica and Warren-Con. They're huge districts. Their 2 superintendents were hardcore on this. You can see how our superintendent is. Our superintendents are super supportive of this. But when you can mobilize those 2 large areas, that's huge. We're splitting it between 28 districts, some tinier than others, some bigger than others. But some of our big districts, Rochester particularly is one of our largest districts. It's in that red outer ring. We're inner ring people. Right? We're the group that when you are out there in Springfield Oaks asking people about it, that's really important. We had people in Oxford tell us, "Oh, hey, we really support this, but we can't say yes that we support it." They're still going to cash that check. The money's still going to come. They're still going to cash it and not think another thing about it. But that's what we have to counteract with the positive message, is that us in the inner ring need to go out there. And when we are vacationing up there, Groveland, Oaks, you're in those areas, you go in, ask people, do you know about the enhancement millage?
And then pass the beans.
Yeah, and pass the beans. So, thank you. What other questions? Thank you very much for having us here today.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And then I'll have all your information on our email. All right, next up to talk about the last 2 millages is club favorite, 20-year Royal Oak Commissioner. She's the new chair of the Royal Oak Civic Foundation. Sharlan Douglas, please come up. She's going to talk to us about the Royal Oak Sanitation and Police and Fire millages.
So teachers, firefighters, police officers, these are the people that enhance the value of our community, that keep us safe, that help us grow, that help our communities grow by attracting people who want to live in our cities. And so I am here to talk briefly about the public safety millage renewal and the sanitation millage renewal coming up on the August 4th ballot. I don't have slides, it's just me, and I'll be brief. And I got my start in politics in 2012, working on the very first public safety millage with my dear friend Clyde Esbree. And now I'm back again advocating for this. We are lucky that the voters of Royal Oak have passed 2 renewals of this millage. People value public safety, but we can't just assume that that is going to take place. So I wound up being voluntold by our mayor that I would be working on this committee. So briefly, the public safety millage is going to levy 4.6 mills over 10 years. Usually this has been a 5-year millage. So there are two advantages here. There's the advantage to the city in terms of being able to plan over a 10-year cycle. And there's also the fact that we're not going to be back and asking you for an increase for another 10 years. This is a slight increase. So the original millage was 3.975. It got rolled back by Headley. And if you want me to go into Headley, I will, but you don't want me to go into Headley. So anyway, so we're bringing this back up. We're bringing back the rollback and asking for an additional 0.625 mils. And again, this is for police, fire, and EMS. We have excellent service. People will say, we don't need more money because we have excellent services. We have excellent services because they have the money to pay for them, right? I'm especially proud of the work our police department has done over the years, recognizing that the issues that police officers face are less and less about like crime and more about social services. We've established a co-responders project with adjacent communities where we throw in, and the county, to fund social workers. So when police officers encounter issues that are really outside the world of crime, we've got experts who can come in and help in those issues. Our police officers get training in de-escalation. We see examples of families who come, who call the police because they have a mentally ill member of their family who is a threat, and our police capably de-escalate those situations to great praise from the families that they serve. So I mean, I think I'm preaching to the choir here that we are a great community because of our public safety, and we want to keep it that way. And again, this is on the August 4th ballot. The sanitation millage, briefly, it's a 1 mil renewal. It's funding the services that we all use every day, from combined recycling to many of the things that we as Democrats value, the sustainability initiatives, the food composting program, the educational programs that we offer for sustainable practices, smart homes, etc. We are a progressive city when it comes to sanitation, and this will help us continue the services that we offer. And I'm going to wrap it up there and answer questions.
If I
Joe.
vote for that, does that mean they'll come and get my grass clippings that have been sitting out in front of my house for 2 days?
There's something going on with priority. I don't know what it is. I just saw a hint of that. So yes, sir.
Yeah, the problem was they had vehicles break down, and they had drivers quit. Yeah, not show up. I don't know the particulars behind all of that, but that part of that amendment for the refuge collection, I meant to ask, is this going to be an increase of 1 mil over 5 years to the existing? Or
no, it's a renewal of the existing 1 mil.
That's all. I want to be able to talk to that correctly. And then,
right.
You know, we've been dealing with a couple of different companies, haven't we, for trash removal?
There was a so I'm off the city commission right now, yeah, so I don't know what the current issues, but yeah. Yes, the trash hauling company sold out to another company, yeah, and there were bumps along the way that I thought got smoothed out, but that now appear to be bumpy again. But again, sort of out of my realm at this point. Commissioner Kolo.
Hey, Char, is it true that police fire EMS costs about $60 million a year in town? That police fire EMS costs about $60 million a year, and this village brings in about $20 million. So it's only about a third of the police fire EMS is covered by this, right?
That is correct. Yes. Well, actually, it's 45 million. The millage raises 18 million. The balance comes out of the general fund. So for people who say, well, you know, why don't you just cut? If we cut, more money will come out of the general fund to fund the public safety that we desire, and you'll see cuts across the board.
Do we get any state funding or federal funding at all with our police and EMS?
Yeah, there are grants that we apply for, but not as a for the essential services that we provide. Okay. All right, thank you. Oh no, wait, one more thing. So in order to use data to do our campaign, the millage committee needs access to the van. And the only way we can get that is through the Dem Club's Van account. So at some point now or later, we will be hoping that someone makes a motion to suspend the rules and authorize the millage committee to use the club's Van account. Now or later. Yeah.
So thank you, Sharp.
You're welcome.
All right, so now that you have all that information, we're going to do something. We're going to make 4 motions, and we're going to go through this really quickly. I've given you the 30 days of all the information in your emails about all the millages and bond that you saw today. We've already endorsed the Royal Oak Schools one. So we're going to do endorsements for the city sanitation, city police and fire, and then we're going to do the Oakland County, and then we're going to allow the committee to get our van access. So I will take a motion. Lisa, are you paying attention for motions and seconds? All right. I will take a motion to allow, I'm sorry, what's the committee called?
Friends of Royal Oak Police, Fire, and EMS.
To use the club's van access. Do I have a motion? I'm sorry, Van is a app on your phone that we use. It aggregates voters into who they are. Are they Democrats? Are they likely to vote? That type of thing. And those are the houses that we either walk to door to door, we contact via text, we make phone calls to. So it's because it's run by the Michigan Democratic Party, and we get it through them. We have to allow them to do it because it's a democratic process. So, yep. That would make sense. That would make sense. Okay, thank you for that. So we're going to suspend that right now. We're going to go to, do I have a motion to support the Royal Oak Police and Fire Millage? I have a motion from Mary Mills. Support from Dave. Do I have any discussion on the motion? No discussion. Let's take a vote. All those in favor, to vote, you must be a paid member of this club. So make sure you're voting. We do have a quorum here. So I'll take a vote right now. All those in favor say aye. All those not in favor say nay. The motion passes. We are now endorsing the Royal Oak Police and Fire Millage. Next motion. Do I have a motion on the floor to allow van access to the committee that Shar mentioned? So moved. I have a motion from Shar. Second from Elaine. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, I call for the vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those not in favor say nay. Motion passes. We are now endorsing that. We will now. Yes, Shar. Thank you very much, Shar. I'd like to. Do I hear a motion to support the sanitation millage from the club? Motion from Dave. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Bob Chura. Any discussion? Bob Chura. Sorry. Do I have any discussion? Hearing no discussion, I call for the vote. All those in favor say aye. All those not in favor say nay. Very good. So we are now endorsing the sanitation millage. On to the county enhancement millage. Do I have a motion I have a motion from William Asher. Do I have a second? Second from Maryanne. Discussion? Hearing no discussion, I call for the vote. All those in favor say aye. All those not in favor say nay. Motion carries. Thank you, everybody. That gives a little bit of teeth to everybody. All right, next up, we have Mike Flores, who runs ICE out of Oakland County. He's going to give us a little dissertation, maybe a 4-minute discussion and a couple questions about ICE out of Oakland County. Dr. Mike? You're pretty loud. Let's try.
Yeah, can everyone hear me? Okay, good. I like to walk a lot, so I like to make eye contact. So as the slides come up, So again, my name is Mike Flores. So buenos dias. Mi nombre es Mike Flores. I am part of CAFE, and one of the initiatives of CAFE is to engage in advocacy to make sure that all of our residents in Oakland County are protected. And what's really cool is that the previous speakers spoke about things that make our community safe, right? We want to make sure we have great schools. We want to make sure that we have great public servants. One of the other things that makes communities safe is when all of our residents have trust in the institutions that they engage in. So I'm just going to ask you if you have time to go ahead and scan this. This takes you straight into a website where it provides a lot of information in terms of how to engage with Oakland County as it relates to ICE issues. If you're not comfortable with QR codes, you can go to iceoutofoc.info, and I'm going to have this slide at the end as well. So I'll move my own slides. So how many people do you think have been kidnapped in Oakland County since June of last year?
Too many.
Too many. That's a great answer. But a round number. So confirmed kidnappings in Oakland County have been approximately 500. And these are confirmed, meaning that we have a name, we have pictures, and we make contact with our family members. We know that number is grossly underestimated because the clearinghouse currently managed by Syracuse University, who has access to a lot of information, estimates that 6,000 people have been arrested by ICE from January to October of last year. 6,000. Of the 6,000 arrests last year, 4,285 have been removed from the United States. About 300 self-deported. And at any one time, we have about 2,000 people incarcerated through one of these, what I would call camps. Who's surprised by this? Yeah. Not only am I surprised, I'm scared and I'm angry. But we're Democrats and we do not fear. This is why elections are so important. We have an incredible Supreme Court here who has said, we're going to stand up to this. We're going to put a rule together. We're going to put a rule that says no ICE arrest or presence without a judicial warrant in any courts in Michigan. Wow. It sounds to me like our Michigan Supreme Court believes in our Constitution. Not only do we have an incredible Supreme Court, we have an incredible Michigan State Senate with incredible Democratic leaders who have put together bill packages. SB 508, 509, and 510 that has said we do not want any sort of paramilitary to enter our communities with face masks. We want to make sure that we protect sacred or safe spaces like hospitals and schools and churches. And we want to make sure that we protect sensitive data like things that are revolving around healthcare. So it's very similar to HIPAA. Incredible that we have incredible leaders like that. In addition to that, we have an attorney general who has said, I am going to use every power possible to protect every single Michigander. So she said, I agree with the Supreme Court. In addition to that, I'm going to sue DHS because we don't want those camps anywhere in our communities, specifically the one that's being proposed in Romulus. And she has launched an incredible activity tracker where people can enter information when they have sightings or when they have encountered ICE. In addition to that, we have incredible counties like Washington County who has put together resolutions who has said that anything that is owned or leased by Washington has to be ICE-free unless you have a judicial warrant. That's incredible. So a group of us came together and said, you know what? We know we have incredible leaders here in Oakland County. And we're going to ask our county leaders, which is led by Democrats, to say, hey, in addition to making sure that you codify no ice on any Oakland County owned or leased property without a judicial warrant. We want to make sure that you also codify no 287G contracts with any of our public safety, because we want our local public safety to focus on local public safety issues. We want to make sure that no data is shared to the Clemens Authority with DHS or ICE. And in addition to that, in one of the richest counties in Michigan and in the nation, can we find some money to support communities that have been impacted? So $50,000 for legal aid for Oakland County residents that have been impacted by ICE. $100,000 to address food insecurity for children who have been impacted by ICE. And in addition, can we have 2 community members have a seat at the ad hoc committee that has been set up by Oakland County to address these issues? Does these sound like reasonable asks? Sure. Yeah, I'm glad y'all think so. We thought so. So we've been to 8 meetings so far and have made no progress with our county commissioners. 3 meetings in February, 2 meetings in March, 2 meetings in April, 1 last month, and there's 1 coming up next week, and I'll speak more about that. What that has led to is not very positive news coverage about our Oakland County commissioners. Now, I do want to give our county commissioners grace because they have a lot of things to deal with. So what we are encouraging is don't be mad. Do something about it. And this is what we're going to ask. This is the ask to y'all. Can you contact your local commissioners and local commissioner and ask them to please support the community ask? Thank them for what they've done so far, but it's not enough. We need them to please support these 5 specific asks, because the performative resolution supporting the Senate bill is not enough, because we know that Senate bill is not going anywhere once it hits the House floor. And the ad hoc committee that has been created has only met once with no actions out of that meeting. So here's the specific ask. The next meeting is next week, June 11th at 6 p.m. If you can make it out to Pontiac, we encourage you to please go to that meeting. However, we know that sometimes not everyone can go to these meetings. I've been going for the last 4 years. I know it's a huge commitment, but what you can do as well is that you can email your commissioner. You can call your commissioner. If you don't know what to say or what to write, if you scan that QR code or go to that website, we have 2 email templates that you can use for reference. We have a nicer one and a firmer one, depending on how you're feeling that day. In addition to that, we have a voicemail template. That voicemail template gives you some bullet points that you're able to speak to your commissioner to stress some of these things that are important to our community. And in addition to that, if you get a voicemail, guess what I have? Yes, I have a voicemail template there for you as well. So that way you're not stuck in terms of what to say. It's cut down to 15 seconds, so you get straight to the point, and hopefully that commissioner gets back to you. So Mike, that's me. You know what? I want to do something right now. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm angry. I want to do something for our community right now. Well, guess what? Today, there is a protest at the proposed Romulus camp website site. This is being put on by Cafe, again, the organization that's leading this advocacy portion of it. But what's incredible about this is you're saying, well, Romulus has nothing to do with Oakland County. Guess who these leaders are? They're Oakland County residents. So when things are even happening outside of our county, people look to Oakland County to lead. And this is what makes me very excited about this. Cafe is based here in Oakland County. The people who are collaborating on this effort today in Romulus are Oakland County residents. And even the community that is meeting every single Saturday of this protest is led by an Oakland County person. It should make us all proud to say Oakland County cares not only for our residents here, we care about everyone in Michigan. Mike, I'm not a protester. I'm not going to go out there. What else can I do, Mike? Guess what? I have an option for you. You can join. We encourage you to go to it's called a watch training, but it's not necessarily that you're going to go and interact with ICE. What this allows you to do is get some basic training to be able to get plugged into other parts of cafe. So if you're more moved by food insecurity, because there's about 50 families that we're currently supporting to address food insecurity, but we don't want you to go directly and deliver food because we don't know who's tracking you. We don't know if ICE is going to tag you or what so. So you have to go through a training to be able to know what the safety protocol is to deliver food. If you encounter ICE, what you can do safely to make sure that you de-escalate and remove yourself from that situation. If you know Spanish or any other language, helping our helpline is a great way to get plugged in. So that's on June 25th. It's in a safe space. You get some general information in terms of how you can be able to get plugged in. Now, Mike, I'm sorry. I really can't do any of that stuff. What else can I do? Guess what? I have an option for you. One of the best ways that you can get plugged in and support this cause, if you're unable to get plugged in any other way, is to share your treasure. If you're able to share your treasure, that is one of the most impactful ways that you can support this cause. You're like, Mike, I don't have enough money. Guess what? $1 will make a difference. And let me tell you why $1 is so significant. When somebody gets kidnapped and taken into ICE, they're quickly moved through the system, and you're assigned an A number. That A number is the only way that you can track that person. What we do at Cafe is that as soon as we confirm the A number, we immediately deposit some money into their commissary. You want to know why? Because we want ICE to know someone is keeping tabs on them. We want ICE to know that there is someone who's interested in making sure that that person doesn't completely disappear into the system. So what we do is that we collect all those $1 or donations that are being made, and we make a $5 deposit so they can make a phone call. Guess how much a phone call costs out of these centers? $3.99 to make a phone call, with an additional fee each month. Yeah. So we make that initial $5 deposit to make sure that they know someone's watching them so they can make that phone call, hopefully to their lawyer or loved one. And then we try to assess if the family has the resources to continue to supply money into that commissary. If they do not, then we supply them with $50. Again, because we want to make sure that ICE knows that someone is keeping an eye on this particular individual. So many ways to get plugged in. I know personally that it is a scary time. I am angry. I am afraid. But I think what I am most is I'm very hopeful, because we have Democrats who have said this is unacceptable in America. That's why it's important that we continue to elect Democrats at every level. We continue to demand from them, even when they're afraid, to encourage them and say, you know what, this is what's important for our community. We want to make sure all our community members are protected. And yes, we may disagree in policy. We may disagree on how much money goes here, how much money goes there. But what we cannot disagree on as Democrats is that we value every single person. And I think that's what makes us different from potentially people on the other side of the aisle, right? Any questions about this? All right, with that, I'll be here. If there's a way for you, I'll be available to answer any questions. Please, again, feel free to plug in, scan this, visit the website, and I'll be here to answer any questions as well. Thank you so much.
All right, Eric, go ahead.
I guess I'll go to Mike as well.
You can go, Mike. I mean, Mike works.
That's all right.
All right.
Can everyone hear me in the back? Yes. Okay, all right. I'm plugging my little book reading. We're going to do this. We're going to push it out into July. So, let's see if Carl pulled up.
Oh, I got it.
I got a little presentation. But again, so we read
the Tim Snyder book last year. So this book is called From Dictatorship to Democracy. And so we're going to discuss some of the key themes in the book. And also I kind of want to workshop some of the ideas and themes. And basically there's kind of 4 things you need that you need to do. So the problems we're having now are not new. They're problems that have been happened elsewhere in the world. And the author is a Ivy League scholar. This actually came out originally in 2002, updated through 2012. So there's literally been over a dozen countries where they've had issues and they've overcome them, but there's a kind of a checklist of things that need to happen. And we've really only kind of done 2 out of 4. So that's not good. Like, we need to do these 4 things, and we've only really done 2. And so again, the goal is we're going to go through the book here. We're thinking a Saturday afternoon, kind of mid-July is kind of the new time frame. We had issues trying to find a space. Everything was kind of booked up.
Yeah, we tried for June 20th. We cannot find a venue. We're going to do it in July.
Yes. So encourage people to read the book. It's 100 page, a little over 100 pages. It's a small book, but it's very applicable. There's lots of stuff we can do. And if we want to go to the other slide, I just want to show like one of the concepts. So there's a professor. He might come and he kind of introduced this concept, but just real quick. I don't know if you heard about this, but so there's kind of accountability, and vertical accountability is what this group does. We get the right people in office. We vote. Horizontal is the checks and balances. So obviously that's completely broken down. But what's left is organizations like this, professional organizations, aid, and what can we do? And this book has around 200 different things that we can do and discuss those things. And plan these kind of like locally and nationally. So that's all I got. Middle of July. Hope to see everyone there. Read the book. It's a really good book.
Yep. So read the book. I'll in the emails and social media. I'll advertise when we get a place. And do.
Thanks.
Right. Next up, really quick. Yeah.
It's available at a great local bookstore. They've got extra copies for us.
And Sidetrack 2 as well. And they will order it for you if they don't have it. I have 2 copies that I got used online from Etsy. If anybody wants to take both, one of the 2 copies, just take it. Just return it next time I see you. All right, that's on the table on the way out. Newly freed from compulsory education is our club intern, whose internship ends here in another couple days. But he has been our intern for 3 months, and he's got a couple things to say, and he's also going to give us an update on Royal Oak High School Dems. So, Cameron Bailey.
Turn on. Hello. All right. Hello, everyone. So yes, my internship is up. I'm here to just give a review of what I did and what we did as a club. So I have no slides, but as an intern, I worked with Carl here, with Lisa, with Deb, with Mike James, and many others like Eric. Where's Eric? Eric and Charlie Fleetham, who I have not seen today. We organized a youth summit for people my age or around my age to meet Democrats or meet local community members that are involved in the political world. We had, I want to say, about 45 attendees, about 40. It was about high school to college age. A lot of people from Royal Oak. That's mainly who we got. I was able to meet a few people from either Farmington Hills and Roper, and they started to get involved through that. They were able to meet they got to meet some of our city commissioners. They got to meet State Representative Natalie Price. They got to meet people from Indivisible Fighting 9. And they also got to meet Denzel McCampbell, I believe, from Detroit City Council member. So I helped do that and organized it with them. I helped bring in a new or a different idea of what we would like to see as youth, what would be nice to have. So we added sorts of trivia, ways to ask questions, breakout room scenarios, giveaways, and of course, food. Food is the one that people want. And so with that, my internship is up. And yeah. Next one, though, I am not qualified to give this update anymore since I am graduated, but my colleague is not here. So Royal Oak High School Dems. As far as I know, they had their final meeting. Well, they all got out of school this week. So the rest of school ended for the rest of students. Seniors got out a couple weeks ago. So they had much smaller meetings for the last 2 meetings. And it wasn't as organized, but that's fine. And I believe Owen is planning to have people meet in the summer. He wants to have actually with some of us a Hamilton watch party, just to watch Hamilton, just because, why not? So that's as far as I know. He'll probably next time we meet, he'll be here and he'll give an update what their plans are in the future. But for me, I am out.
Okay, let's get into elected officials. Anybody want to come up to speak for elected officials? From now on, you're elected, right? Yeah. From now on, we're just going to do 1 minute and then one question for everybody. All right, come on up, introduce yourself, and start speaking. Yes.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Robin McGregor, and I'm running for OCC trustee. I'm running because in my community, we do not have a dual enrollment. Highland Lakes was just closed. So for our high school or anybody north, they have to come down here to Royal Oak. It's a 45-minute drive. Or if they go to Auburn Hills. So some of the things that I've gone to the school board and talked about is having our seniors. You have a beautiful senior center. Having adjunct professors come in and work with us. Working with the kids, having the same class at the same time. Making a difference. I've asked to be on the agenda for the last 2 years. I've never been put on the agenda, and nor will I ever be. They've told me that that's not going to happen. So the only way to fight fire with fire is to join the board. So that's why I'm here. So does anybody have any questions? I don't have a bachelor's or a master's or a PhD, but I do have certificates from Cornell, Wayne State. I'm a welder, I'm a pipe fitter, I'm a cathodic specialist. I'm a working person. I'm a person that has lived in the community. So thank you. Think of me. I don't have a primary like everyone else, but think of me in November. And please flip the ballots over. Look at your judges. Look at your school boards.
Thank you, Robin. Any news? No?
Hi, my name is Penny Luebs, and I am your Oakland County Commissioner. So I'd be happy to answer questions after this meeting also. I want to start with good news. I'm part of a Safe Community Committee. We have many committees. We have a Safe Community Committee that addresses gun violence, and we have a Safer Community Committee that was referenced earlier that met in March. But our Safe Community Committee addressing gun violence supports Disarmory Ministries. So they're based on Greenfield Road in Berkeley. And once a month, they collect guns, different types of guns, and they break the guns down. So we support that by providing gift cards. So it could be $50 for pistol, and it moves up to $200. So it's once a month. They will collect any guns. Okay. The other good news is our Michigan State Senate Rosemary Bear provided Oakland County with a grant of $500,000 to address homelessness, and we're using that money for emergency shelters. And next meeting, I'll address drones and ICE. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I had the opportunity to speak twice, so I'll kind of cut right to it. I'm John Paul Torres. I'm running for Congress in the 11th Congressional District. I've been public administrator for 25 years, the past 10 on the court end of administration, overseeing some of the largest court programs in the state of Michigan and helped implement juvenile justice reform. I am a school board trustee in Waterford, been on the school board for the past 10 years, and I'm a former congressional fellow. I worked on Capitol Hill on comprehensive immigration reform. I know Mike was over here speaking, and I want to talk a little bit about immigration. And that's really the forefront issue of why I'm running. We need to provide a pathway for the DACA kids. When I worked on Capitol Hill, I was a congressional fellow, and I worked on the DREAM Act, which would have provided a pathway for adopted kids. After that, we got to go for their parents. Then the 13 million undocumented immigrants that live in this country. This is near and dear to me. I'm the first American born in my family with my brothers and I. Many of my cousins that I grew up with were undocumented. I didn't know until we became older. And I'm going to tell you that one example of kind of what Mike was talking about, I have a cousin who was deported 5 years ago. He had a son in the United States Marines and the United States Army. He spent 6 months in a detention center until he was put back in Mexico. We got to stop that. We can't let this injustice happen under the Trump administration. John Paul Torres, I'm running for U.S. Congress. Thank you.
We kind of skipped over elected officials. So, elected officials, if you're also campaigning, you do 1 minute of elected official and then 1 minute of campaign. Right. Thank you. Sorry, okay. 15 minutes left.
Okay, sure. And okay, Natalie Price, I'm the current state representative for most of Royal Oak. Legislative update, we are in budget season, and you guys have heard me talk about this before, but we have this statutory deadline of July 1st for the budget. We have a horrible Republican Speaker of the House, Matt Hall, who models his behavior on Donald Trump and tries to break down trust in government. So as usual, he's dragging his feet, he's messaging to try to get attention for his party, and he's slowing things down. What was really helpful last year was hearing from you. I see school board members, I see students, I see teachers and parents telling us that when we go past the July 1st deadline, it harms our kids, it harms our schools. They can't get their budget done. Last year, we got to our October 1st constitutional deadline, and it was you guys reaching out and saying that the schools were going to private banks to borrow money for teacher salary that really put the pressure on to get our budget done. So that's it. Like this, we got to have a decent budget. We've got to get it done on time, and then we need your help to put the pressure on the right places. Are there any questions for me about what is going on legislatively with my job in Lansing right now? Okay, good. So campaign, so other side. I'm running for state senate. I'm grateful to this room, especially for stepping up and being some of my very core champions. We're in it. This is my last chance to talk to all of you before the primary. It's my last chance to get my name out to a lot of people before the primary. Absentee ballots go out at the end of this month, so I need all hands on deck. We just updated the website this morning. Under events, canvassing, we added a bunch of new canvassing shifts. Join us on the doors. We have a great time. We are out. I'm out 6 days a week. My team is out 7 days a week. There are lots of options to be on doors. We have a fundraiser tomorrow at Woody Gantina's house. We would love for you to come. There's no minimum to come and be supportive and hear the pitch and participate. So all of that is up on socials and now on the website. And then yard signs. I brought a big stack. If you want one for your house and you live in Royal Oak or in my district, then come and see me if you're unsure and take a yard sign if you want one. Thank you.
Hey, I'm here for all 7 city commissioners with an interval time. Okay. Thank you all for being here today again. A couple updates. The city commission has 2 really important jobs, like our main jobs. 1, hire a city manager. 2, pass a budget. And we're doing both of those this month. So Tom Marcus just started as a brand new city manager. He comes with over 40 years of experience, primarily in Birmingham. There's nothing Tom hasn't seen. He's going to be the best choice to make sure that we continue to move forward with steady leadership over the next several years. And then 2, pass a budget. We're passing the budget at the last meeting in June. The budget is over $250 million at the end of the day. And we spent a lot of money making sure that services continue to happen. We're investing millions in parks, millions in senior services, millions in all the things that we hold near and dear to our hearts that make this community a great place to live. And that's because of everyone in here. So we talked about millages tonight. Those are important to making sure that we continue to be able to offer these services. Thank you, Carl. Getting off my train of thought. So as you know, as we're looking at these millages, it's essential that we continue to pass the solid waste millage, the public safety millage. I'm going to talk about priority for 1 second. Who has leaf bags outside their house right now, or lawn clippings? I've had mine for 2 weeks. Priority waste is on notice that they can't poke around Royal Oak anymore. Like, this is not acceptable. It's not working out.
Our contract's held through a conglomerate with the county, and we are working with their legal team to see what we can do. That contract's also up this year. And it's not like there is just another legal or another waste company we can go pick up and say, hey, I need you to come pick up our trash this week. We're going to fire party and bring in someone new. Unfortunately, this takes time. So we are absolutely working on it. I cannot say that we won't have priority next year, but I don't think we'll have priority next year. But this is a contract that we need to work through. But we have put them on notice. We're letting them know that their failure to provide is unacceptable. So we all hear you. We feel it. Like I said, my solid waste has been out for weeks also. So we're working on that. The last thing I'm going to say is someone's going to talk tonight is my mom, Lisa Neilson, who's a former judge in Wayne County, running for judge in Oakland County. If you like me, you like all my policies and ideas, we talk about kids a lot tonight, and how you were raised are what your values are. And my mom definitely instilled a lot of my values to me. So listen to her next. Thanks.
We'll keep it really short to respect your time here. David Lauer running for 6th District State Representative. That's Birmingham up to Kensington Road, east of Southfield Road, Beverly Hills, all of Berkeley, all of Huntington Woods, precinct 4 and 5 of Southfield, 14 precincts in Royal Oak. Whew. Okay. I am incredibly honored and excited to share with you that we are the only candidate in this race to receive the MEA, Michigan Education Association endorsement. And that just came through. That comes with the full benefits and backing of the MEA as well. I come from 3 generations of educators. My father was an educator for 28 years in the Rochester school districts and early childhood development, and an educator at Oakland University, training our next generation of educators. My mother taught for 47 years. Education is something that's incredibly important to us. It is the foundation and just the framework that allows us to be competitive as a state and for our individuals in this state, in the great state of Michigan, to achieve their goals and prosper. We keep it short. Thank you so much for all your support. We've knocked over 12,000 doors. We are re-knocking doors. We are fully funded. I look very much forward to being your next state representative. Thank you.
Hey, hello everybody. My name is Don Ufford, and I'm an engineer, husband, builder, and dad, and it's great to see so many friends and supporters here today. I just came from the farmers market. What a great opportunity out there, talking with people who are optimistic about Dems being able to expand the party and grow, because we need to. I have experience. I used to work at Ford. Nice little handy visual here. Used to work at Ford and then went out to work in U.S. Department of Commerce for President Biden, and then over to the White House to work on the EV transition, because I believe in clean energy and having clean air and clean water. And so do our voters across the board. So I'm going out to D.C. and I'm running because I want to make sure, number one, we got great jobs for people here in Michigan. I'm worried about AI and the impact it's going to have on youth and our jobs. We got to make sure that we have control. Number 2, protecting healthcare. So critical to all of us. Number 3, lowering costs. Trump's crazy tariffs are just kicking us. And number 4, making sure we protect our freedoms. Get out of this war in Iran. I'm not taking corporate PAC money, not taking utility PAC money, not taking APAC money. I'm just fighting for everyday Michiganders. I hope to earn your vote. Thank you.
Okay, I'll start. I'm Debbie Anderson, and I get to talk about the really fun thing, which is ROMS, Royal Oak Middle School, formerly Dondero, Go Oaks, formerly Royal Oak High School is turning 100 next year, and we have a committee started for that. And I'm part of that. Michelle's part of that. Maryanne's fundraising with us. And it's going to be really fun, but if you want to participate in the committee and the planning, let me know. We'd love to have more members helping us. Is that 20 seconds?
That was 20 seconds, actually.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so just to reiterate what Natalie was talking about, budget. So by law, all of us here at the school board has to approve a budget by June 30th. And what we'd like to see happen is that there's a real budget passed by the state, not a 6-month interim budget just to get past the elections, because it's really critical for schools to plan appropriately and to fund appropriately, staff appropriately, all of those things. We're very fortunate in Royal Oak that, we are fiscally responsible, so we're going to ensure that, our staff is paid and all those things occur. but we can't stress enough the importance of having a real budget passed soon at the state. Yeah, I mean, started by June 30th, but the reality is we just don't want an interim budget that's just tied over for 6 months. We want a real budget.
And I'm going to take over the candidate portion of this. So this fall, we will need to run for re-election for the school board. Deb and I have brought petitions today. Thank you to so many of you who've already signed. We've already got 2 full petitions here, right? And I think Deb has at least that and more probably. And so we are very honored and privileged to have represented you on the school board and to have done all the work we are to improve our schools. And we hope that you will support us in the fall. And if there's anybody here who has not yet had a chance to sign a petition, who's a Royal Oak voter, we would very much enjoy your support. Thank you.
Signatures? Thank you. Excellent. Come on up, introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. My name is Laura Mikulski. I'm the Mayor Pro Tem of the City of Ferndale. You probably don't know me unless you may have seen me on TV talking about state statutory revenue sharing and how inequitable it is, or if, unfortunately, I have been to your yard for Ferndale Rat Patrol. Does anybody know Ferndale Rat Patrol here? Hopefully not. Okay. The reason I'm here today is because I'm actually here on behalf of Amanda Treppa. She is running for state senate. She was not able to make it out today, and I just wanted to put in a good word for her. She took time to come to Ferndale and to surrounding areas to basically talk to us about part of her platform that I thought was really important to educate you all on today. Amanda is very concerned about home ownership and making things affordable. Part of her platform is property tax reform, focused on closing the dark stores tax assessment loophole, as well as making sure that corporations are paying their fair share. All of these groups that are buying up homes in our area are making it harder for young people to buy homes. It's making it harder for us to afford things, and it increases our tax burden through basically passing along villages to residents. So in short, please reach out to her. She's very accessible. We have information in the back, and I would really like the opportunity for her to earn your vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Carl. Good morning, Democrats. Melanie Macy. I'm running for 6th District of the House. So that's most of Royal Oak and Birmingham, all of Berkeley and Huntington Woods, and the east side of Beverly Hills, a little bit of Southfield, but they're a tiny sliver of Bloomfield Township. And you will get the chance perhaps to walk one of those places today if you join us for our community canvas. We're doing a joint canvas for me and Natalie Price in the pieces of the district that we do share because the Senate district has changed. Her boundaries are a little different, but she's, obviously she's our current state rep, so all the places I'm knocking, she was a state rep. So we'll be knocking today. We'll meet outside after this. We will have some food for you and we'll have some lit so you can get on your way. We'll talk a little bit about it. If you've never canvassed before, we have some instructions and we can pair you up so you don't have to go by yourself. The campaign has been going great. It's really fun actually to be out there on the doors. I'm not saying that just to convince you to come. It really is good out there. There's a lot of energy. I mean, not just for my race. I think it's going to be really good in August and November. I'm hearing that all the time. People are really interested in talking about what's going on. They like to hear about my background in voting rights. They like to hear about what's up and what can be done in Lansing, things that have been done in the trifecta and can be done in the future. And I also have a ton of endorsements that are rolling in. So I have the UAW and AFSCME, I have the carpenters and the sheet metal workers. I have a Planned Parenthood designation. So they're starting to really roll in and we're having a great time on doors. So please come join us today.
Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here on this beautiful Saturday and spending your time with us. And thank you for giving me a few minutes of your time. My name is Jessica Hallmark. I'm running for Oakland County Probate Court. For those who don't know what Probate Court does, which is most voters, I think, Probate Court handles some really important issues, deals with trusts and estates of people who have passed away, but also makes decisions about care for a lot of vulnerable populations in our society. So minor children, people with disabilities, people with mental health issues. Tell you a little bit about myself and my background. I'm a lifelong Oakland County resident, grew up here, had 2 lawyer parents, so couldn't escape, followed them into the profession. But they were really great role models in the legal profession and in the judicial profession, and taught me that lawyers help people, that being a lawyer and being a judge is an opportunity to help people and to serve the community. I watched my mom, who is with me today, first run for Oakland County, for the Court of Appeals in 1990. I was 11 years old at the time, so learned what that process looks like and why it's important. And then watched her eventually go on to become an Oakland County probate court judge and serve the county in that capacity for 26 years. So I got to learn a lot about why that's important, why you're able to touch so many lives. The story that I tell, and I've never done it without choking up, so bear with me, but my son was 5 years old and I picked him up at school one day from an after-school care program. And one of the teachers came up to me and she said to me, are you related to Judge Hallmark? And I thought, oh boy, do I want to admit that I'm related to Judge Hallmark, what's gonna happen next? And I said, yeah, she's my mom. And she said, well, and this is where I was crying. She saved my stepson's lives. So that is the type of impact that this court has the opportunity to make on the community. I now have gone on to become a lawyer myself. I have 18 years of experience as an attorney in the state of Michigan, and I want to bring that experience to this court. You can learn more about me and about my campaign and about my experience and my endorsements. I've been fortunate to have a lot of role models in this profession. Quick shout out to Lisa Neilson, who is one of those people. I've known her since I was a kid. She started out her career working for my mom. Anyway, there's more information about me in the back of the room. You can find me online and on social media. Thank you so much for your time.
Hi, I'm Lisa Neilson, and I'm Brandon's mom. Yeah, thank you. I do know that guy. I am running for Oakland County Circuit Court for a vacancy. I am a retired family court judge. I was a Wayne County family court judge for 10 years. And I retired from that position and moved back to Oakland County in 2022. And I pursued an MSW at the University of Michigan. So following my judicial experience, I then decided to try to look at the family law cases through the perspective of a social worker and an academic lens. And it really, my entire judicial career, I kept thinking, why don't we have social workers in this court? This is so social, and there's such an intersection between the law and the social sciences. And it was an experience that was so profound for me. And when I found out that this position, this vacancy was going to be a family court position, that's when I decided that I wanted to get back into being a judge and to be able to apply my extra layer, my extra dual lens to the family court, along with the social science perspective that I have. And I am really excited about the opportunity and the privilege and the honor of possibly continuing my judicial career in the Oakland County Circuit Court. I do have to say Judge Hallmark is here, and it was an honor and a privilege to start my my judicial career in 2000, the year 2000, with Judge Hallmark as first her clerk and then her staff attorney. She has mentored me every day since. She spoke at my investiture when I became a judge in 2012. And I am so privileged and honored. I love this woman. I love her daughter and their family to me. And it's just an honor. And that the universe has brought us together, and here we are together running for judges, both in the probate court and circuit court, is a real privilege. And I want to thank you for your time today. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Elisabeth Dery, also running for Oakland County Probate Judge. I just wanted to give you a quick heads up. Obviously, we are, a couple of us are running. There is a primary. There's a third candidate that is running. So I need your vote August 4th to make it through to the November ballot. So please make sure you
look up your judges, look at what they do, and make sure you have a good idea of how best they can help the bench and how best they can help the community. I'm a local Royal Oak. I have signs that I brought with me. I'm going to be out knocking doors tomorrow if anybody feels like they want to say hi to people on my behalf, meeting at my house on Vermont Street. So 1 o'clock tomorrow, if you want to come out and join us, please do. I've been practicing probate for almost 15, probate attorney for almost 15 years. So I have a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience, and I want to bring that to the bench and how best I can help you all. So please remember to vote, turn over your ballot. Actually, I think the primary ballot has 3 columns this time rather than turning it over. So make sure you go to the 3rd column and vote for your judges. And hope you all enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Thank you very much.
Elected officials and people for office that would like to come up and speak. Hearing none.
Couple things, I know it's noon. A couple things. Our last resistors protest is on June 13th, 1 to 3 p.m. at 12 Mile and Woodward. We're going to start doing different things rather than being at 12 and Woodward every other week. Social night, June 18th. It's always at Pronto in June because it is Pride Month and they give us the patio and it's a fantastic time. Dems and Beer. There is a committee going for Dems and Beer right now. It's always in July. The committee has already decided that we're going to change the name to Dems and Drinks to make it a little more inclusive so everybody doesn't think that we have to drink alcohol all the time. And even that name I'm not like perfectly sold on, but it's better than Dems and Beer. So that is July 18th. Look in your emails for information. Remember, we don't have a July monthly meeting. So our social night, 3rd Thursday, both June and July are very, very important. Our next monthly meeting will be August, the weekend after the primary. So we got that going on. Club t-shirts are on sale. And there's something else I was supposed to say. You want to come up? Come on up.
Newbie precinct delegates in precinct 6. Could we meet back here? Like to just kind of get to know you.
If there's any precinct delegates from precinct 6 in Royal Oak, she'd like to meet at the back at the end of this meeting. Any other new business? Thora?
Next weekend, Sunday, June the 14th, 1 o'clock, the Michigan Democratic Party is going to have our first Royal Oak canvass. We need your help. We've been doing volunteer calls on this for a couple weeks already, so some of you have already heard. If you want to come out and work with us on next Sunday, please contact me. We're going to meet in the field, so we need your phone number and address. Please help us. This is an important year. You can still work for your candidates nowadays.
All right, William, come on up.
Hi, I'm William Asher, the precinct delegate liaison for the club. And real briefly, our deadline for filing for precinct delegate was last month, but we still can file for precinct delegate as a write-in candidate. And I have a bunch of write-in candidate affidavits with me. It needs to be notarized. And actually, well, I don't know how long Tom's going to be here, but Tom can notarize them. And I have just become a notary, so I can notarize them too. Thank you. You have to be 18 or over to do this. So certain people in the room cannot do it yet. I know they're eager to do it soon. So that's that. The other thing is, I want to point out, precincts 3, 10, and 13 have no volunteers for precinct delegate. So if you live in precincts 3, 10, or 13 especially, please consider being a write-in candidate. And then one last thing also, I've committed already to try to come up with a little campaign for precinct delegates to speak to at the doors before the primary. In particular, dealing with reaching people who aren't on the absentee list and reaching people who voted in 2020 but sat out 2024. And we can actually get that information from public records using the WAVE app, which all precinct delegates should be able to use and have training on. So anyway, I'm going to come up with some information and a flyer and send it out to all the precinct delegate volunteers. And hopefully we'll get some impact on people, turnout primarily. One last thing is that I keep on saying one last thing. Precinct delegate training, there's 2 more sessions coming, June 8 and June 27. And there's also WAVE training on June 22nd. So if you're a precinct delegate and would like some training, there's plenty of opportunities. That's it.
Last thing, you'll notice that the flags are out today. It's because I keep on hearing from everybody that says that when they see the American flag, what do we think of? Do we think of MAGA? Did MAGA take over our flag? Doesn't it feel that way? Yeah. So we're Democrats, right? We have the flag. This is our country. MAGA doesn't have anything to do with it, right? So do me a favor. Get out there, proudly fly your flags. Fly the American flag. When you have your signs out in your yard, make sure the American flag is also prominently displayed. We own this flag. It's our country, our flag. I'm not going to hug it like Trump does. Anyways, motion to adjourn. Motion by Mary, second by Elaine. Thank you guys. Have a great day. It's going to be beautiful out.